First off, don't be shocked because I look a little different. But hey, everybody, it's Adam from Double I Games, and you can tell the beard is gone because I'm stuck in what do we call this? Quarantine. I'm not sick or anything, but everybody's staying home. But I got something real exciting in the mail today. I got this big old box from the Game Crafter, who are the guys that print my games. You saw the 3 different ones. There was Roll 2, Raid, Random Adventures, and Dungeons. And the big one we're here today for, of course, you see this point the other direction. It's weird when the camera's backwards. Over there. We are, thanks for the baby face comment. We are opening this box. I haven't even opened it yet, but this is a box I've been waiting for to show up in my life for 14 years. I've been working on Kingdom Combat since 14 years ago, and I'm so excited to open this with you guys. So, Winnie, how's it going, Winnie? Thanks for joining me. I'm excited. So, let me crack this thing open, see what's inside, and we'll have some excitement. And, oh, wow, it's already pretty cool. There's a ton of stuff in there, because I had got quite a few copies of it already. Quick preview. Whoop. Nope. Don't get to see that yet. Alright. So first, these got a little beat up in shipping, but they're pretty good at it. First off, we'll do the little one. I got Roll 2. It's a little pocket-sized game for when you're waiting for your food to come at a restaurant. You're just looking for a quick little game. Roll 2, quick dice game for all ages. Easy rules. Roll 2, match 3. I got a few copies of these on the website, facebook.com/DA Games. You can go to my site to buy things. This I'm selling for, I think, $7.99. But it's a neat little pocket-sized game. I always keep a copy inside my coat whenever we go someplace. And Finn loves playing it when we're waiting for food, or when he gets bored, or when he gets out of control. So the big thing, all right, this is freaking cool. So I got Kingdom Combat, the starter set, first edition. That is the first time I have ever put this into a boxed product, and this thing is freaking sweet. I'm sitting here like shaking. This is stupid exciting. Oh my god, it looks awesome. So you got the starter set, and you got the big fat complete edition, okay, well, I have people like misprints, so there's a misprint on the front of the box I will have to fix, but man, that's freaking sweet looking though. I'm totally excited about that. So 2 different sets. Either one gives you everything you need to play. Starter set gets you just like half of the amount of cards, but you still have enough for everything you need to play. And of course, the complete set gives you literally the complete set. If you get 2 starter sets, you get a complete set. So that's kind of how I designed it, where you can get as little as much as you want. Sweet. Pretty awesome. So, of course, I got myself a complete set. So that's what I will be opening today. And going through all the cards that you get in a complete set. So you guys can kind of see what the whole game is about. Apparently the little chat box is not working, but that's fine. This is freaking crazy. I can't believe I got this whole thing here. When you do open it up, it does have stuff about Raid, our Facebook page on there, stuff about Roll 2 on the inside, of course, cool Double I Games logo, manual. Oh wow, it turned out pretty sweet. So that's here, let me switch to my other camera. that's pretty awesome there. The manual I tried to keep short and sweet, to the point. I had a lot of people help me out with editing, so I appreciate everybody helping out with that. It looks good. Looks real good. Get the focus. There we go. Focus. Building a deck. And a quick reference guide on the back to make things a little easier. A little bit about me and creating this game. So we got the full instruction manual. Beautiful. All right. So again, I have not opened this yet. And holy crap, there is one stack of cards there and one stack of cards there. Bam. So this is crazy. Look at all the stuff you get. There's a lot in the full set. Man, this is cool. Alright, so we're going to open this back up, and I'm going to start popping cards down on the table so we can check them out together. This is ridiculous, because this is the first, excellent printing of this. Alright, so we got the Eerie Citadel, which is one of the main fortresses that you're trying to protect throughout the game. I don't know what kind of order these cards are printed in, so it might be all over the place. You're gonna see the full set today, so be ready for it. Eerie Citadel, but on the back you also have the Black Temple, so you have a couple of choices on what you can do here. So as I go through the cards, I'm gonna kind of put them off to the side there. We have some tokens coming up here. Tokens have green borders. So you got a reanimated skeleton with deflect. That's what that little symbol means. And I got the cheater text underneath. Deflect, prevent damage from range attacks. These are two-sided tokens. So you got a vampireling token on that side as well. We got a captured soul token. Again, green token. Of course, you can't shoot a ghost, so they have deflect, where they can't be shot by range attacks. Let me get the mic a little closer here. That should be a little better. And again, that's double-sided. So that's pretty awesome. I think I have more of those tokens in here too. I forget how many tokens you get. Eric, well, we can talk afterwards about getting you a full set somehow. Because yeah, this is gonna be sweet. Got some silver border cards. When you have a silver border card, actually, hold on, let's do the backs of the cards. Backs of the cards, well, they're printed a little bit crooked, but that's why they give you some space for that. But that's what the back of the cards look like. Skeleton Mob. These are the important things to have centered. Is the front of the card. So Skeleton Mob is a silver card, like I was saying. What the silver means on the borders is that you can only have 2 of these in a deck. So Skeleton Mob, attack, defense, and armor equal to the number of skeleton units I control. Man, there's literally no order to this at all. Padre of Logos Path. He is our cleric. Exhaust, lose a hit point. Target undead, up to 1 zone away, loses 1 hit point. These look really good. The art's coming out really good. I like these. That's one of our human cards. Actually, let's make 2 piles here if we can. I think the camera's too close. So we're just going to flip through some of these. We have our cleric. Again, part of the humans. Let's see, maybe we can fit a few things here if we put them sideways. That looks terrible. Okay, we'll just keep flipping through cards. Here we go. Here's one of our structures with the gold border. Gold border cards, when you build a deck, you can only have one of in a deck. So usually when those hit the board, they're made to kind of swing the game. Winnie, you know what? Don't worry about the angry react. I know how these buttons work. But I'm sure you did still mean to do the oh my god, roll your eyes face. So yeah, the town square, when that hits, all your townsfolk units you control gain +1 armor. So that's one of your structures. By the way, the rules to this game are going to be freely available for download once I get the shop site on the Game Crafter completely up and available for everyone. So you can read the rules and everything ahead of time. That's one of the original pictures that I made. Like one of the first pictures I ever made for this game. Queen Dashina, when she hits the board again, that's a gold card, so she is one of the named characters of the humans. So restoring hit points, basically these are hit points over here if they have more than one hit point, and whenever you restore a hit point, you can get back no more hit points than you originally had on that unit. So like if this was down to 1 hit point, you can restore up to 2. That's what restore means. We got one of our undead gold cards here, Lord Malice, and he's mounted. And you got the cheat there. Mounted, can move up to 2 zones per turn. He can be basically regenerated, so restores the hit points if you lose vampires. So he sacrifices vampires to him to gain his life back. Here's some zombies. Good old George Becker drew that for me many years ago. Again, I've been doing this for so long. I have art from so many years. That was the big thing that held me back, was the art. There's the windmill. I actually took that picture of a windmill out in St. Charles, Illinois? Something like that. I forget where these are. There's another zombie. So again, now wait, black borders. We didn't talk about black border cards. Black border cards you can have up to 4 of in a deck. So we will see some multiples of these cards. Here's a wasteland. So that's a picture I took of in the UP of Michigan, and literally there was nothing there. It was a wasteland. Watchtower. One of the original pictures I made a long time ago. That is a fortification, so that goes to protect a structure that's already out. So they kind of go like that. There's another watchtower. Vampire Lord. Here we go. That's another George Becker art. Each time Vampire Lord destroys a unit, put a Vampireling token into play. There he is. In the same zone, the unit was destroyed. When you control no non-token vampires, destroy all Vampireling tokens. So, of course, back to vampire lore, if the head vampire is destroyed, well, so are all the other vampires. So, that makes sense. You kill Dracula, and all the other vampires die. The Dead Swamps. I forget where that picture was from. I know it's a photo I actually took somewhere, and then edited the hell out of it to make it look like that. The Temple of Burning Light. These little symbols in the corner, by the way, is how you can tell what faction they're from. So, for example, like with the little skull here, let me see if I can get a little closer look on that. With the little skull, that's how you can tell if it's undead. And then with the little shield with the castle top, that's how you can tell that it's humans. Plus, you can tell that the humans are a little more like bluey silver looking, and the undeads have a little more red hue to the card. So that was that a picture I took for real? I can't remember if that was a picture I took for real too. There's another one of them. The stables. Stables helping with those mounted units because they usually cost a little more. Summoning circle. This, I forget who drew this for me a long time ago. But this is one of those when a opponent puts a unit into their discard pile, you can pay 3 gold and put a captured soul token out. One of those guys that can't be shot with range attacks. Here's a few copies of Spearmen. Some skeletons. I think this is literally one of, again, the first pictures I ever did, because I love games that have skeletons in them, so of course I had to include skeletons in this. Skeletons, of course, have deflect, prevent damage from range attacks, because you shoot them with an arrow, it's going straight through their bones. It doesn't hit anything. Pretty much all my skeletons have that. So you got your skeleton warriors that have deflect as well. Again, that means deflect right there. We got some skeleton soldiers. Look at that, more skeletons. Let's get some focus going here. There we go. They have deflect as well. Some Shadow Riders. This name has changed. This card has changed name many times. I'm trying to get the focus to work again. Come on. There we go. This card has changed names over the years. You can tell that he's one of the few that actually has 2 abilities. You got mounted, so he can move up to 2 zones, and he's got the little fist, which is charge, which means he deals damage first when attacking, only when attacking. The Shadow Riders also, well, they're shadow. Shadows sneak up on people. So that's what happens. Since they can sneak up on you, they can hit you first. I'm gonna add something here. Beep boop boop. Not that. Since the little chat box isn't working, I'll put so you guys can see me talking. Okay. That's kind of cool, right? So yeah, the Shadow Riders. Some of the other names, I forget some of the other names, but they were like alternate Batman names. I forget what they were though. Oh, the Dark Knight. I think I call them the Dark Knight, Dark Knights or something like that. Here's some more Shadow stuff. The Shadow Wolves. Again with the fist, deal damage first when attacking. Pretty cool. Another Skeleton Soldiers. Shadow Ghouls. There's a couple of those. Alright. Why is this focus being a butt? Let me see if I can fix that real quick since it's giving me a hard time. There we go. So Shadow Ghouls. Deal damage first when attacking. If you have any questions about this game while I'm going through it, please put it in the chat. Send me a message. Again, I invented this, so I'm gonna be able to answer any questions you have about this. Scared Stiff, Dirty Trick, exhaust the unit. Got the Shadow Beast. He's hiding in the shadows again, so he's gonna do that. Deal damage first when attacking. Our Shadow Assassins. That was one of the first cards that was made for me as well. So he'll do damage first when attacking, but also you can exhaust him and destroy him to destroy a unit up to 1 zone away. So he's pretty powerful. Another Scared Stiff. Here we go, back to the humans, the Royal Cavalry. They're coming to get you. Again, mounted with a couple of hit points. These cards turned out really well. My one Reanimate spell. That's again one of the first cards I ever made. You can tell by the skeleton models and everything. Lets you bring back a creature from or a unit from the graveyard or from the discard pile. It's terrible when you've been playing other games forever and then you have to remember the names that you used in your game. The Portcullis Fortification. Protect your town. How about Protective Ward to protect your units? Hey, thumbs up. Thank you. Rat Swarms. Rat Birds. I was just talking about rat birds the other day. From Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. So the Rat Swarm, +1 attack against structures, because the rats. There's another Rat Swarm. Here's some peasants, some human basic units. I mean, it doesn't get any more basic than peasants. Another one. Oh, some more tokens. Some reanimated skeletons, right? They got that green border, so they are tokens. Deflect, again, so they can't take range attacks because, again, the skeletons. I put some logic into making this thing. And there's another Vampireling on the back of that, because, again, the tokens are double-sided. Another Captured Soul token. Vampire Coven. So you can tell I kind of had a few themes when making the different decks. Again, this is another piece of art made by George Becker, so I appreciate that from a long time ago. The Blood Knight. This guy, okay, this card has taken so many edits over the time of making this game because the wording, used to have so much wording in the text box that didn't make sense to anybody, and it was just a disaster. So I had to simplify it, and this is the best wording that totally makes sense now, is to deal with giving it additional hit points, and if it doesn't destroy other units, it doesn't have enough blood to keep running, and it dies, and it's a vampire. Silver Border Possession. You literally take control of someone else's unit until the end of a turn. Needed a silver border on that because that's a pretty powerful card. We're getting into some repeats here. I don't know if we saw this yet. The Royal Chamber. All royal units you control gain +1 attack and +1 armor. That's pretty powerful, especially if you're deciding to run it as a royal themed deck. Master of Shadows. Remember all those shadow guys for undead? Well, he's got a master. He's a gold card. All the shadow units I control gain +1 attack. So powering up your whole board. We got some windmills, zombies. There we go, another gold card. Flaming Arrow Archers. This is our first range unit right here. So range 2 means you can exhaust it, which exhausting means to turn it sideways, meaning that you've used the card. Deal 2 damage up to 1 zone away. But typically you can only damage units, while Flaming Arrow Archers can actually damage structures as well. So that's why it's a gold card, because that is damage from a distance is good. Wastelands, Watchtowers, Vampire Lords, Dead Swamps. Kind of quickly going through to see if I missed any cards off of this side. And then we'll open the second pack and see what's in there. I can't wait to start like making real decks out of this. Oh, there's some Nightfall. Now we're getting into some other stuff. Nightfall. This is a picture I literally took in my backyard one day of the moon. When I was staying with my in-laws. First year I was married. The Lower Dungeons. So this is where you get corpse tokens, gain 1 gold on your turn for each corpse token on Lower Dungeons. So you notice that this one doesn't make any gold per turn, but as it's out and you're destroying other units on the board, it'll start making money. The Locust Swarm, which apparently is a real thing right now. You can attack farms and eat all the crops. Lower dungeons again. The graveyard. That was actually a picture of a graveyard in St. Charles, Illinois, where I used to live. Heavily edited again. Again, that skeleton theme. Fast-moving cavalry. Dun, dun, dun. They're fast. They're furious. They'll wreck your face. They can move up to 3 zones per turn, so they actually have something a little extra with their mounted ability. Another one. This was the last picture that I drew for the game. It was farmers. Gain 1 gold on your turn when farmers is in a farm structure. Gold, of course, is how you play the cards. There's your gold cost in the corner. That should look a little bit familiar. Death Touch, which is actually on the cover of the box. Cover to the box. So I used card art for the covers of the boxes. When this guy dies, target unit in this combat loses 1 hit point. Daybreak. Again, another photo I actually took many years ago. The Crow Flock. The Crow Flock. This went around. This was a lot of different edits to this card as well. Crow Flock used to be power, toughness, and attack, defense, and armor equal to the amount of Crow Flocks you had out. But then I changed it where Crow Flocks can come in to play where other Crow Flocks are because they flock together. Again, I try to use some kind of real-world logic when making these cards. So that's what I do. The crematorium, that again was part of that same graveyard that we talked about earlier. Let me see, where's that picture? That crematorium that I found was actually in that graveyard. Didn't know you were going to get some fun facts about the game too, did you? Here's some cornfields with a little baby dragon hiding in the corn. Church of Logos Path. So in case you're wondering where the whole Logos thing came from, I forget what language I looked it up under, but Logos is another word for God. So that's kind of what I did. The game originally had a whole different name. It was called Bellum Total War, which Bellum was the Latin name for war. But I didn't like that. I like Kingdom Combat way better. I'm glad I changed the name. I'm glad I changed the logos. I mean, this game has come so far over the years. I'm kind of glad it took me this long to make it because it's so much better now than it looked originally. That church is actually a real church, again, in St. Charles. Chivalrous Knight. Well, he's chivalrous, so he always deals damage last in combat. He's always after you. So, so literally, he only hits you after you've hit them. Chariot Riders. Mounted, can move up to 2 zones per turn. That's another piece that I did. Another Chariot Riders. Here's a cattle farm. I don't know where I was on vacation, but those are some moo cows that I took a picture of way back then. Burning Light Soldiers. These guys are cool. I like the art on there. They're part of, a set. You got your Burning Light Soldiers that are protected from shadow units. You get the Riders, which again, if you remember, are part of the starter set. It is the cover for the starter set box art. Shadow units, damage reduced by 1. And you get the Burning Light Defenders. So they're again part of a set. Damage done to this by shadow units reduced by 1. The Bucket Brigade. Protecting those buildings from getting burnt down. Back to the undead with the bone pile. Skeleton units you control may come into play here. I think we already did the bone pile earlier. Boldavon Knight. You'll eventually meet King Boldavon, so that's where Boldavon Knights come from. They're sworn to protect him. Because here's the Boldavon Horsemen. Again, to protect King Boldavon and Queen Dashina, who we saw earlier. Blighted Land. That place is a mess. So this is interesting. This is a card because typically the undead don't run protection type cards. So what this is you can either play this offensively or defensively. You can use this to protect your own structures, but you're going to get one less gold per turn, or you can play it on your opponent, and now they get one less gold per turn. So there's a couple ways you can do that one. As I've done playtesting, that's been a very interesting card. Here's the banquet hall in the town. Everyone having a good time in the banquet hall. Barren land. There's literally nothing in the barren lands because it's barren. Makes sense, right? I'm not sure if we saw a Blessed Touch yet, but that gives your unit extra abilities, +1 attack and defense. And here's our other range unit. Again, you get the range there. So he can exhaust to do 1 point of damage to a unit 1 zone away. Pretty cool. Alright. So that was the first stack of cards. What do you guys think so far? Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think of this game so far. It's again, I'm still like super pumped, crazy excited to be here doing this for you and to be checking this game out, because this is, like I said, this is my project that I've been working on for so long, and I think we're gonna see a lot of the same cards here. Let's see, and I'm just so excited to actually have this thing in my hand and be checking it out with you guys, and that I've already had a few people that want copies of it. I know Eric has said that he wants one, so I'm gonna give him a link to it already so he can get one for himself. Oh, we didn't see Old Clacky yet. Old Clacky! There's a whole long story behind Old Clacky. He was this... Okay, we were on this vacation in... where were we? I think West Virginia? And we were going through these, like, twisty-turny mountains. And... like, everybody, of course, that lives there drives super fast through these mountains. And they were barreling down on the back of our car every time. And my wife's like, I'm just going to pull off the side of the road and let these people pass. And and she starts pulling off. And me and Brittany look to the right. And there's this creepy old house that we're pulling up on. And we all just go, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. And then this mangy dog, there he is. Scruff, this mangy dog comes out, just bark, and we just start screaming, and we're like, ah, go, 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 go. And we're all screaming, but then we get away from it, we all start laughing, and then we were talking about that's where Old Clacky lives, with Old Clacky and Scruff. And he's a bone collector. He takes people over there and kills them in his murder house, and then collects their bones. And old Scruff will chew on the bones and help him collect them. And that's basically what Old Clacky does. He comes into play with 1 bone counter for each non-token unit that was destroyed this turn. Remove 3 bone counters. Put a reanimated skeleton token into play. Where is that skeleton? Reanimated skeleton token into play. In the same zone as Old Clacky, each time a non-token unit dies, put a bone counter on Old Clacky. So he's collecting bones from the dead and making new skeletons. Good old Clacky. That was a fun story. There's King Boldavan that I was talking about. You notice, again, they're named cards, so they're gold. They can be game changers. So King Boldavan is a force to be reckoned with. Let's see what else we got in here. Temples, Sonic Circle. We've seen the skeletons. We've seen the wolves. We've seen the beasts. I think that is all the different cards that you get in the set. That is all of them. Yes. I think that's the complete set. I'm looking for something in here to see if I can find it. Huh. I believe that is it. Yep, that's everything. So that is all of Kingdom Combat. So again, the link is down on the bottom, facebook.com/DA Games. Keep an eye out on that site. Please like it, subscribe, all that good stuff, and keep an eye out for when Kingdom Combat will be available for everyone and anyone to purchase. Oh, Glenn, you just jumped in at the end here. But this video will be up on Double I Games Facebook page, so check it out if you missed anything. And I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Thanks, Eric. I'm glad you think it looks amazing. And here we go. There's the other starter set. So yeah, I will talk to you guys again soon. Just like I said, keep an eye on that Facebook page. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.